Quadruple 07, right on time as always. Please come on in and we can discuss the current situation. Now, I trust that you have at least been briefed on the situation that we have brewing on Tedrarellan 7. Okay, excellent. I have a bit more additional information for you. Here is your holographic information package. As always, please memorize this and then delete all the files upon it and destroy the holographic disk itself. So why don't you take that and start memorizing that as soon as you leave here. How much were you briefed on thus far? Yes, we believe that the target may be hiding there, possibly posing as a Nerian spiderfly breeder. It would be a good disguise considering how popular those are on that planet, so you may want to look for any newly registered breeders. There is also the opportunity that the target could be posing as a smuggler, because it makes it very easy to get in and out of various planets, so keep your eyes open for that. In the meantime, as always, we have a few things that might make your mission a little bit easier, given the very delicate details of the mission. Just a few little things to help simplify the task at hand. So, now, I believe that you are familiar with the first model of this particular device. Yes, that's correct. You did have one of the earlier models on that mission. However, we've made a few upgrades. This no longer explodes. In fact, it is specifically designed to look like a thermal detonator, because very few people are going to expect it to be a tracker, which is in fact what it has become. So this has two settings. There is the visible laser, which I can demonstrate, and then the invisible laser, which I can demonstrate, though I'm not really sure there's a point because you can't see it anyway, but there it is. And what that is it's a laser tagging device. Best to use the invisible version, obviously, if you don't want the target to see you tagging them. And once you've tagged a target, this little device will float and follow the target no matter where it goes. And this is something that you can use to follow someone throughout the galaxy. It does not have intergalactic range, so if they leave our galaxy, then you will lose them. But as long as they remain in this galaxy, you can follow them through any solar system and any planet. Just follow the little floating thermal detonator-like device, and it will follow anything that you've tagged. So you do want to be careful when you're tagging something, because you don't want to tag the wrong thing. However, there is a handy little tag deletion button on it in case you do happen to tag the wrong target or wrong item. If you end up tagging a space whale or something, you can just delete that target. So, do you have any questions on the use of this? The range, like I said, pretty much anywhere in the galaxy, so it has a galactic range. It is programmed to be able to float anywhere in the galaxy. You'll just have to follow it, and it is perfectly capable of traveling through space without being destroyed by radiation or anything like that. It's a solid little device that we've created, so handy for tagging targets or potential targets, and then just following them throughout the galaxy. Just kind of see where they go. Obviously, of course, use discretion, cloak your ship. You don't want anyone to know that you're following them. No, this cannot be picked up by radar. It is small enough that no ship is going to pick it up. It's just going to look like a pebble floating through space to any computer system, no matter how advanced. So you don't have to worry about anyone picking this up, following them. And it does have a homing beacon on it, so you'll be able to follow it even if you can't visually see it, which is handy because it allows you to give them quite a bit of a head start so they don't know that you're tailing them. Yes, if they go into light speed or warp, this can follow them no problem. It's equipped to pursue its target, even if it can't keep up with their speed, and you, of course, will be able to follow this. Are you all set on the tracking device? Okay, great. So just put that in your galactic to-go bag. Now, this less than stylish little device you can wear right on your wrist, and it's a bit conspicuous, but if you're wearing it on your wrist, let's face it, the planet you're going to has some slightly, shall we say, unique fashion trends at the moment, so you'll probably fit right in, and no one's going to question this as some kind of bling on your persona, but it goes far beyond bling, because if you just select any of the buttons on the top, it is a holographic disguise. Yes, you can pre-program it with any disguise that you would like, and then at the touch of a button, it will completely change your appearance to anyone viewing you. And it's very handy because you don't need makeup or disguises or anything like that. You don't need actual physical disguises. It just changes your appearance to anyone looking at you. And it is totally foolproof. No one can see through the hologram, and you don't have to worry about any disguises falling off like you would with a traditional disguise, because it will completely change your appearance to the pre-selected disguise that you have chosen, and it's a full-body disguise cloaking device, so whatever you choose to turn into will be manufactured the vision for your entire body, so you don't have to worry about anyone seeing through it. No, it cannot be detected by 99% of hologram static ramification devices. There is a 1% chance that someone could have the newest model, which can see through the holographic disguise, but those are pretty easy to spot, unlike the earlier versions, which were just, a pair of glasses that could really look like anyone in a crowd. The newest model that can see through this is an entire headset, so you're probably going to see them before they even have a chance to see through your disguise. So, any questions on how to use this? Okay, great. Well, stick that over there in your galactic to-go bag as well. Now next, something that you might find very useful. This is a cloaking device bypass. Exactly, you can use it to bypass the cloaking device of any ship within range of your screens. No, they will not be able to detect you using it, so it's a great way to follow someone when they think that they're invisible, particularly if you activate your own cloaking device. You'll be able to see them without them knowing. So all you have to do is find the appropriate frequency that they're using to cloak their ship, and then you can reverse the viewing polarity so that you'll be able to see them on your screens and scanners. No, it does not actually remove the cloak, so anyone else in the vicinity will not be able to see them, which once again, of course, gives you the advantage, but you will be able to have full visual of them on both your screens and your scanners. Are there any questions on that? The range? The range, because this plugs in directly into your Bridge's command port, it has the same range as your ship's viewers and scanners. So whatever the limit is on your particular ship, this will be subject to the same limitations. But if you have a ship that has a very long distance scanner, then this will be able to scan just as long as that can. Okay, and what are you flying these days? Okay, yeah, you're going to find this very handy then, because you have a nice long-range scanner, so you're going to be able to scan for quite a ways with this. So we'll stick that in your Galactic to-go bag as well. Next up, we have the short-range transporter device, and this is pretty handy because you can transport yourself or any other physical items or other people or creatures, what have you, over various distances without needing the long-range ship transport or anything like that. It's a short-range teleporter, but it certainly comes in handy if you don't happen to have access to your ship in the moment. The transport radius. The transport radius is roughly 5 feet, so anything within that 5-foot radius will get transported by the transporter. And how short is the short range? It's roughly 20 kilometers, somewhere in there, so it's good for hopping around from town to town on a planet, something like that. If you were to hook into something, like on a specific planet, if there was an energy booster that you could hook into, you might be able to double that range. I would recommend testing it with physical goods before you try it on yourself or any kind of living creature, because we haven't stressed it that far yet, and I wouldn't want you to be using it the first time and have it also be your last time. So definitely recommend testing it on some kind of rock or something like that if you're going to try to push the limits. But if you're not going to push the limits, you can easily get 20 kilometers, no problem. So any questions on how to use that? You just push the top of the button, which I won't do, or I'm going to be transported out of here, but you just push the top of the pyramid here and it'll zoom you and whatever else is in your 5-foot radius to wherever you want it to go. Over here on the side, you just tap this, and then it gives you all the options of direction and distance and all of that you can program in there where you'd like it to go. You can also program it ahead of time, like if you know you're going to need to make a quick transport, program the coordinates ahead of time, tap it, and away you go. So handy little device to get in and out of places quickly. Any other questions? Okay, stick that in your Galactic to-go bag as well. And now, another little bit of bling that will look pretty much natural where you're going. You have three different functions on this innocent looking little piece of steel. The first one over here is your food synthesizer, which you'll be needing on your long journey. How many different meals are available? There's about 100 different meals it can make. It's a rather small synthesizer, obviously, but you can, if you like different meals, take out some of the ones that are programmed and put in the code to program something that you would perhaps like better. Again, it's not going to fit more than 100. That is the maximum limit on something this small, but you know, we don't expect you to be gone more than a couple months, so you shouldn't get too sick of the same 100 meals. And if you find yourself in a break, you know, when your target seems to have jumped the planet, spend a few minutes and program in a few new meals before you run off chasing the target again. Now, function number 2 are your remote ship controls. You will have to plug this Acrian data port initially, just to have it sync with your ship, and then after that you can push this button and use the touchpad to maneuver your ship or fire its weapons, whatever you need. Kind of handy if you're on a planet and need a big blast in a emergency moment there, so always handy to be able to have your ship, or you know, if you use the short range transporter, want your ship to come a little closer, you can just fly it over with the remote operating controls. So I think you're going to find that comes in handy quite a bit. And then the final function, which is definitely something of great importance, the final function is a field of invisibility. So you just tap that button there, and as you can see, it makes everything invisible. Tap it again, and there we go, it returns. The range on that? The range on that is only going to be you, because, again, it's something that you wear, so it's feeding off of your biometric signals, so that's how it makes you invisible. Now, the one exception to that is you can be holding someone or something and make them invisible too. Anything that's basically contacting you, as long as this is contacting you, will be invisible. So you can hold someone's hand and make them invisible. You can hold a basket of quantum star blasters, and as long as you're wearing this and holding the basket, they will also be invisible. So basically it's a contact-based invisibility field, so whatever is touching you, as long as you're touching this, will be invisible. No, obviously, as just demonstrated, it does nothing for sound, so you will have to make sure that you are completely quiet while you're invisible, but let's face it, being invisible is pretty handy in certain situations. Now, any questions on how to operate this? Okay, excellent. And then finally, you will of course be needing some firepower, so standard issue laser blaster with a state-of-the-art laser system. We have upgraded it a bit, so the range is now double what it used to be, and this will now cut through even laser-resistant materials, so you don't have to worry about not being able to get in anywhere. You'll be able to get in anywhere with this laser blaster. That is when the entire thing is together. What do I mean by together? Well, a nice little feature of this laser blaster is the fact that it's a little large, you know, to be inconspicuous. You can separate the smaller module from the larger module, and you can easily carry this in your pocket, and this still works on its own. However, the laser blaster that comes from this is about a quarter of the power, so you're going to want to keep that in mind. If you want the full power blaster, you're going to want the full set here. But this is a great thing. You can separate it from this just to kind of like carry it in your pocket or something where you don't want it obvious that you're carrying a full laser blaster. It's very easy to conceal and, you know, walk around some kind of social area or, you know, the main planetary market, and no one's going to notice that you're carrying a laser blaster in your pocket. Again, quarter of the strength, but this will still get you through most things that you're going to need to be blasting through, but you want the full power. Just reconnect the small module to the large module, and you're going to be able to cut through anything with this. So, not going to demonstrate, or we won't have a wall left in our office. So, take this and be careful. Always leave the safety on when you're not using it. So, alright, do you have any questions about anything? And anything else that you'd like us to send with you? Alright, well then, good luck and get out there and keep the galaxy safe.